Yes, well, just a second here. Well, I'll start the recording on to the cloud, and we've got the live stream going now. So
Is anybody else recording?
we've got teacher camera and two or three other people there recording as well.
Uh,
Yep, so we're good.
Just live stream, say make sure it's correct. People can hear.
I believe we're good with the live stream. Yes. So I'll make the announcement. It's the welcome everyone to the second International Cash Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's Tuesday, January 19th, 2016, and we'll have a bit of a look around the world to see what's going on in the people with people that are associated with the Keshe Foundation from around the world, and see what they have to present. And Mr. Keshe is there with his trusty pad and ready to begin, I believe. Oh, sorry, Mr. Keshe, we have to bring the people in here. I forgot to actually start that
Yeah.
part.
Let's start a live stream.
No, not the live stream, but for the Zoom participants to actually not the viewers to come in. Should have done that a bit earlier, but
It's okay, but is the webinar okay?
okay. So we've got a dozen people have come in already, and some more will be popping in. So yeah, we're up to 30 already there. So okay, if you, I think you could probably begin if you like there.
Is your live stream okay?
Yep, live stream's on
So,
and that's working.
oh, we can see
It's
Marco.
yes, we see Marco.
Marco on the teaching. Okay. So, can we start? You want to announce so we can go ahead. Um,
Yep, I
as
think you
usual,
just go ahead, Mr. Cash. We've already made an announcement there, so it should be good.
yeah, no problem. As usual, good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whenever you listen to these teachings, as usual. As you are aware, uh, uh, I am not at the Institute and I'll not be there for a few weeks till we are organizing other things in the background in respect to the international position of the Keshe Foundation. We have we're literally making the foundation an international organization through different government organizations and through different parameters. So that is one of the reasons I pulled out of the teaching on a full-time basis, that the others can share. And I was told this morning was a very nice teaching on the, uh, what do you call it, the 1 year, second term, third term with some students where Renan was teaching. Slowly, slowly, as we said, we are handing the teaching and running of the foundation to the knowledge seekers of the foundation. And this international teaching is part of it. Gradually, as we see the new developments coming in, the more we'll be able to illustrate and show that the technology has its own way of working. And we have seen quite a big difference in the past few weeks since being off, and with our teachings and other aspects. The foundation has become an international organization, and there is no way we can stop or slow it down. But the only thing is that a lot of people expect me to be there all the time, that it can carry on. But this foundation is built by you lot, by the public. I'll be there as long as I'm alive and I can support it. And I will be teaching on at least 2 days a week by the look of it. Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning and afternoon, and Thursdays in the public teachings. In so many ways, the size of the foundation is growing beyond control. And we hear every day places which we did not know, that are even people doing courses, doing teachings without even letting others know, and by accident we come across it. For example, we heard there was a meeting of 20 people of the Keshe Foundation of the Kent, And at the same time, there was a meeting this week of the Keshe Foundation in Lancashire, in England. And there are other activities which the English group are organizing and doing. It's the same with the French, with the we here in Africa, we here in Norway, in Austria, in Germany, people on their own teaching. They had a meeting of a large number of people, a couple of hundred in the past few days, and 250 are seen, and they expect about 500 in their February meeting or April meeting. So the foundation has found its own route. We hear people in Australia are moving different ways, and people in Taiwan and other places. So the foundation has got to where we want it to be. It's international. It is truly become international, and with the manufacturing coming in line within the next few weeks and months, then you produce what you decide to help your nation, your country, and the rest. The only problem will be is to keep with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. A lot of people want the change, see the change. We have announced, and we progressively announce, the establishment of one planet, one nation, one race, and to achieve that, we enter in the condition that we all are equal. We all are equal in thoughts, in emotion, in feeling, in understanding that there is a need for peace. There is a need to achieve the oneness, to have peace. As long as there is division, we will not see such peace. So with teachings, with sharing knowledge, with bringing knowledge equally across the world at the same time, gives us that opportunity. So sessions like this as an international teaching needs to be done. We receive translation, or you translate for us. You teach, bring us your teaching, show how you're developing, where you are, who you are teaching, how you're teaching, and in so many ways, how you are developing the process. Something very interesting has come up. A lot of people are becoming, or I see a number of people are becoming distributors for the equipments of the Keshe Foundation. And to sell this there as a distributors, to be able to offer the whatever we have that they can sell, they are putting seminars up. They are teaching people how to do it. And through that, they are bringing more and more people into the foundation, into the work of the foundation, to be very close. So these Tuesday afternoons is for you, how you want to teach, how you have thought, how you work in your country, what questions are in respect to development, not just your country, but the science of the knowledge that you need. And then we'll see where we go. If you have done the research, you want to show it, Tuesday afternoons is your ground. You have done such and such a test, you have seen such and such a thing, and you want to show it. Uh, so these are what we need to go, where we are going to go. We started with the Chinese session. We still carry on with the Chinese session because we learn a lot from the Chinese. We carry on with the teachings or whatever comes across the Italian side. Oh, people are coming in. There is Giovanni and then the others. So we can see you all on the camera. So our Canadian friends are there too. So in so many ways, we see how we develop through your eyes, how you want to teach us, what have you discovered, what is your new point of understanding. So let us listen. If there is anybody who wants to show us something, the way what you've done in where you do and your teachings or progress, this is your ground. Maybe we learn, others learn how to do it as well. Rick, do you have anybody you want to bring on, or we carry on?
Okay, well, we have, what about Jackie, Jackie Cash Swiss is his name there. Do you want to show something, Jackie?
Yes, sure. So just want to share. Here, I don't know if you see the pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so when I speak in the workshop 2 weeks ago about my star formation, after I realized now I need to give the knowledge to other people and not to continue only for me. And I just realized I live on this planet and I'm not alone. I am the humanity and I need to give this knowledge to other peoples and not to continue for myself. So I start to establish some contacts and go to other person to make some magrav and some development and other things. So I have some pictures to show. For example, here I go to a person and I teach, and when I teach, I make some photos, and so I have all the production line to give after to other people with photo and text in French. So, for example, this it's a new development I use for nano coating. It's sulfur, and with this sulfur, it's a good way to nano coat. But it's on testing. We put this. I put some caustic soda, and then some water, distilled water, and we can nano coat the pieces. Then it's the standard wires for Switzerland. Then how to take off to can have the copper. Is it better here? Here it's good. Okay, okay. You're welcome. And then when the copper is ready, yeah, we have the copper. Then we make for make the spirals, the coils. Yeah, we make the final coils. Then we have the connections. So we make all the connections, nano coating. Then we put outside. Then we make the capacitors, caustic soda. We have all the capacitors. Then, it's the caustic. It's the nano coating with the sulfur. It goes really fast to have this. Then another people who make the same. Then we make some coating with fire. Another people who make his coils. He make this machine so it can be good. So the same, all the procedure. Then we have the GANs putting. Here we go. It's the end of yeah. Then I show in the computer how to make the coils, the capacitor. I make the blueprint video so people can understand. Then finalization of the capacitors. Then we have it's the guy who take this plate and he want to make like this. And I said, okay, no problem. We make the connections and it's ready. Then we make some GANs with snow in Switzerland. We start with snow. Can be good. Yes, it's one place. I just want to take another. Uh, and this is another place where we have some other people works. There are 5 people. They are master in the matter. They know a lot about all the different matters like copper and all these things, and they are really active on this. They just discovered the cache technology one weeks ago, and they are finished the star formation in 1 week. So it's really good, and I see it's incredible the understanding of other people and the joy to give exchange with other people and to when you give this knowledge you receive 100 times more than if you make for you, because giving it's much more than receiving. And the last thing is about the development, some development like this. I work on that with some other people. This is the box, and this box is we need to nano coat now this box. Is inside this is vacuum in this box. This is no air in this. Then we make some funny things. This is a double coils. So we make some spirals with two wire. So it's double just to, and we arrive to make with 3 wire. So it's triple. It's it's nice and funny to have this, and standard coils with 90 degrees and things like that. So it's on all we are working, and we are working too on the plasma batteries for nano coating alu and other kind of materials and different things. And for Switzerland, we decided to make a huge impact against the CERN and other places that are not so nice in Switzerland. And we decided to put 100 MAGRAV units rapidly in Switzerland to give an impact in this country who really need to make something for the peace on this planet. So and the other guy are making all the paper for the official announcement of Keshe Foundation Switzerland manufacturing. So I help on this, and I make some visit of my MAGRAV and star formation to people realized really what is it. So it's really good, and that's it. Are you there?
Actually, that's not it. Now you got to explain more. How do you make gas out of snow? It's the first time we heard that. So even the Eskimos can have their maglev system. So did you let it melt, or you just put caustic on it?
I just put caustic on it.
And what happens?
And I make it's a little mix because I have seawater too, because I go in France and I have seawater for me. And so I put a little bit of seawater and I mix with the snow. And it's a little bit different than the seawater. Only with seawater it's really white, and with the snow it's slightly different. I can't say exactly what is the difference, but
do you have a picture of it?
No, I don't have here. I need to. I have in the. I'm not in my garage.
How far are you from the garage?
It's 30 minutes.
Ah, okay. No problem.
but I can show another time.
Yeah, it's just that what it is. How does it look compared to the sea gans?
It's not so much white. It's more. It's
Creamish.
yeah, like white and creamish. Yeah, absolutely.
And what else? Is it the same compactness or is it lighter? Does it
It's
look lighter?
lighter. It's look lighter.
And does it feel any different?
I don't know exactly because I make 2 days ago, so I start continue watching on it, and I don't have enough background on this, but I will let you know.
Thank you very much.
You're
How do you
welcome.
do with your batteries?
I take the aluminum foils of the some cannet of Coca-Cola,
Hmm.
and I put on the solution I show with the sulfur and NaOH and a little bit of seawater. I take first time in this, and then I put some fire on it, and it becomes really gray, like iron, same like iron.
What the
The
what?
aluminium,
Um, can
the
you repeat
aluminium
that
foil.
again? How you do it? Can you repeat again what you do?
Yeah, I take aluminium cannet like Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I put in a liquid like I put soda caustic with
Mm-hmm.
sulfur and a little bit of seawater. I let for 6 hours. Then I take off and I put some fire on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the aluminium becomes like iron, big gray. And yeah, it totally changed the structure of the aluminium. And now my batteries are really more stable. You know, when after I make the copper wire, I nano coat, then I make some paper, then I put the aluminiums. Now I compress a lot the aluminium, and so now I have 1.3 volts, but it's more stable than before.
But doesn't this is what something puzzles me with a lot of people use the Coca-Cola cans or different cans. These cans have a type of chemical or a plastic coating on them. What
It,
happens with the coating, with that plastic coating?
it's only the problem. It's not the problem, but I see a reaction with the, like you say in English, peinture, like the paint,
Mm-hmm.
for the inscription. And when you burn, it's a lot of different gases who go out. And then after it's no more of this. But we only can take out this with the fire.
So isn't it better to fire it first and then put it in the caustic with the
Yeah,
sulfur?
perhaps. But perhaps, yeah,
So,
perhaps.
because what happened, we've seen this with what they call the artist copper, where they coat on it. The coating doesn't reach and it comes off very easy. But as it's inside the what they call the battery, it won't be that much different. You're not using it for anything else. Okay, I'm going to tell you something which has come up with this. What you just brought up. I tried to explain this all on Monday. These things, plastics. Um, there is something which you showed. It's hanging in front of you, and I've seen this with a system like Alice, which is used for left, or he's using for creating enough plasma. There is something you have to remember and you have to understand. When you make these systems the way you are showing now, where the gravitational is at 90 degrees, I'm going to explain this again on Thursday, because we have a different kind of audience on Thursday, and it's important to understand. You have to be in line with the natural working. So I go on, can I share a screen? Here, I open my camera. I want to explain this because it's important. Some
Yeah, okay, no problem.
I do it in a drawing, and I go in depth with this on Thursday. What we see with your work and others is this, that you show a, uh coil like this, and then you show a coil like this.
Hmm.
And this is usually your magnetical, and this is your gravitational. Don't forget, you already have a double coil in these both setups. So they're both double coils. This is opposite to the way the nature sits. In fact, if you look at it, you have to get your magnetical this way, your gravitational this way. But because your gravitational is smaller, is in the center, you have to hang it from its magnetical, that the gravitational will be. And when people like Ali set up their system, or you set up 3 systems, then you have parallel work with the work of the Earth to keep positioning. This is something I noticed a couple of days ago, and I thought that's why a lot of you will have a problem with this flight system, because your gravitational sits 90 degrees in respect to the Earth gravitational. Your gravitational is a smaller ring in the center, and magnetical always superimposes the gravitational. So with those of you who are setting these flight system, you have to do a small adjustment, and that is your magnetical should be horizontal. Sorry, your gravitational should be horizontal, and your magnetical has to be vertical, upright. And I think Ali and the others like you who are setting this flight system, you showed us last week, you have to change position. You still create gravitational magnetic field. You still create the dome effect, but it's a scattered dome effect. So when you set up these, uh, systems, like I've seen you doing last week, um, make sure your smaller ring is horizontal, and your bigger ring, which is a magnetical one, is a vertical. You still produce the plasma, creation is the same, but what you have, as I just explained, is that they tell me, why don't I use a whiteboard? You cannot draw the way you do here on the whiteboard, because you can always bring it back. So the whole process is, your Earth gravitational magnetic field is this way. Or if I can draw it that way, it's in this direction. Your system needs to be in the same position as your uh, gravitational magnetic field. So what you have a lot of interaction in gravitation and magnetical with gravitational, and I think you will find less powerful system in creation of the plasma for your spaceship structure. So when I saw your system hanging, this is something you have to have in mind. You have to find a way that your magneticals are in fact in line with the Earth magnetical, and your gravitational with gravitational. the interaction, if you go back to the teaching of last term, is that the magnetical and gravitational are at 90 degrees or have a stronger point in different direction, even though you continuously have both magnetical and gravitational in both cores. What it does, if you look at it, is in fact this, that if you look at your coil, the magnetical, the way you have it now, where your gravitational is in opposite to the planet, you create a plasma here in the center. That's the purpose of this structure, which it's to your standard is North Pole sits in this direction, or its exit sits in this direction, and its entry is here, where on a planetary system your entry is here and the exit is there. The gravitational field forces is always stronger because that dictates the mass. So when it's sitting in the opposite direction, the way you have it here, then you understand that it will create totally different field forces. So if I redraw this in exactly the way your system is, you showed us on Alice's system R, you have a gravitational system which is here, and you have a magnetical system which is bigger and is here. So the plasma you have created has its exit pole here and entry pole here, where in the Earth structure you have your gravitational here and you have your magnetical here. So your plasma here has the direction flow of your magnetical. So your free plasma in the center is 90 degree out of phase with Earth. So when you set up, I've seen you've done a beautiful system, you have to change the position on it. Because in the coming time, I will show you the use of this, why we use this, and how we use it to our advantage. I hope that made the position with your, what do you call it, what you showed us clear for those who are building it, building their system. And it makes a lot of adjustment. You need to adjust it a little bit because now your system is upside down or is a 90 degree out of phase. But you still create the same thing. You still create the atmosphere, you still create the plasmatic field, but you will not achieve the lift because this is, you're comparing it to the Earth to find position. You're continuously find a steady position with a lot of shimmering. The other thing which you have to realize is that we will bring in line other things that you have to add on is things you spoke about CERN. If you are sitting and you are near CERN and you are within the structure of the CERN, yeah, you have to remember something which you are touching now. CERN is a huge circle and they are continuously creating fields. This field itself is one directional. If your system is within the atmosphere of the CERN or in near boundary, are you getting affected by the system? Would you get different results different times? This is one of the concerns which has to be responded to, and it has to be done.
Okay.
So my advice to you is, if you're near CERN, be a little bit careful in respect to what comes from, what do you call it, what comes on the path of the CERN. Because these people work with a very, very high voltage power, they work with very high current power, and you're dealing with a system which is most probably will interact without a shadow of a doubt with CERN. Maybe because you create a free plasma, you will affect their results in one way or another, or they affect your results. But I mean, more than one way, because you create a plasma, and if you use the plasma batteries to support your system, you affect their system more than they affect yours. The structure is very, very fine. You most probably produce plasma much more powerful than they do, at a cheaper rate, at actually no cost. We will introduce new type of batteries and plasmas and capacitors in the coming time for different application. And because you will create plasmatic condition, you will find that will affect a lot of things around you. But the system you built last week, you showed us, is a very nice system. Maybe you need to put your system on its side, that your gravitational becomes, what do you call it, in line with the Earth gravitational. You just need to turn your system sideways, if it can be done.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to. It's why I want to create a new one with where it's more easy to move the coils.
Yeah, because when it comes to more advanced, just 1 second, please. When it comes to the more advanced systems, which we will disclose in the coming weeks, by moving the magnetical and gravitational, you will change the course of the motion. This is what will be used in the future, using the strength reduction or increase in the plasmatic or gravitational field to create directional flow.
Okay.
You understand the change?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something which is important again, so like, if what I've seen with you, you're using the GANs of snow, or some people use the GANs of rainwater. You are more, if you are especially in remote areas and not in polluted cities, you are more likely to have a more perfect combination of ganses than when you produce a gas of seawater. The gas of seawater, Aman was showing me, he's making gallons of it, and I explained to him, I asked him how do you do washing it, and he says, oh, I washed it 3 or 4 times, all the caustic is out. Most of the caustic should be out. So that gas you have has a combination of elements in it, as we explained before. With the snow, you have whatever is as an air pollutant which is in the snow, which should be much less than what is on the, what do you call it, is on Earth. Is this one way or another to do the work? Is this another way to create a condition? Just 1 second. Sorry about that. I have to answer this call. It's very important. The problem is what combination of what they call impurities come down with the snow, or do you collect the snow after a while, which is a snow that most of the impurity has been washed out, and then you collect the snow? I've never
Yeah.
seen it, but it makes a lot of sense. It makes, if you want more purified system than the contamination from the earth with the seawater, snow is your best choice.
Yeah, I think.
But how are we gonna find snow in the desert? You know, that some of you who are you're familiar with the art of the ancient time, how they used to make ice in the middle of desert in the warm countries. It was explained to me very recently by a doctor that how in the ancient time they produced in the most warmest places on earth ice in the middle of the houses. One day we will ask him most probably to come and explain to us how the ancients used to do it. It was very common in Iran. That's how they used to keep cool water. Anything else? And if I hear more, I'll explain to you. But from today's what we hear up to now, um, please understand if you're going for a graph system, uh, try to understand how you're positioning and what is what and how it's done. I will explain this in more detail in the coming time in how to produce the maglev systems in a different shape and form, and even the maglev systems without the tangibility of physicality. But we're getting there slowly, slowly.
Mr. Keshe, there was a question, I guess, for Jackie about the what is with sulfur and nanocoating? What are the steps? I think sulfur was mentioned, but what was meant by that?
We got to ask him why he's come up with this.
You use sulfur in the
Uh,
nanocoating process.
why do you use sulfur?
Yeah.
What gave you the idea to use the sulfur?
It's a people with really expert on the different matters, and he works with copper and different other matters for 30 years, and his father worked for 15 years in this kind of business, and so he have a lot of understanding of the different reaction of the matters, and he said me try to take sulfur, but it's not. I just searched the definition of exactly what I take in English because I don't know the name. It's it's a foie de soufre. Foie. Um, I just want to say in English, if I can find the term. It's sulfur of potassium. Potassium sulfur.
Probably potassium sulfate, I presume, something
Yeah,
like that. Hmm.
yeah, exactly. And you have I can show you two pictures of what we can have. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you look, sorry, maybe we can add on the knowledge in a different way. But if you look at the operation of the human body, sulfur is one of the most important elements in balancing all the elements in the body of the man. Our parathyroid glands heavily uses sulfur for balancing of the holding of the plasma in the Ganser state.
Yeah,
Maybe your friends understand, or we can learn from them
yeah.
in that direction.
I just
Sulfur, if you, I saw your nano coating, I've never seen it being used. But if you go into the operation of human body, if you are short of any minerals, if you have short of minerals in the body, or mineral or some minerals, if you take sulfur, bring balance, gives the to the. Is this better?
It was a bandwidth
Yeah.
issue.
So the sulfur in the human body brings stability in all the elements, in what we call, not all the elements, but with the phosphor, calcium, and other semi-metals and some metals. But it uses, if you take sulfur, it brings everything in balance. For example, you find conversion from the GANs to the matter state, which is near matter state of the GANs, which is like your nails, will change with the sauce, when it's over. You find your nails don't crack that much. They become very strong, very chippy. So I can understand why they're using it, but maybe you can ask them to join us next week and they explain to us why.
Yeah.
Does
And
it
I,
create a heat? Have you noticed any changes in difference in the high heat?
yeah, I think yes. And I just want to show you two pictures, really interesting. Can I?
Yes, please.
It's I just show. This is only in 1 hour, less than 1 hour. I have this reaction. It's a really profound black. And another thing really interesting is that it's the color, because when you put, you see on the bottom, it's the black. It's lie in the solution for 2 days, and the other part, it's not in the liquid, but I put something on it, and it's less oxygen, so I have these blue colors coming. There is no touching on this plate. It's really beautiful. It's like the planet Earth. It's
It's like
incredible.
clouds. No, it'll be interesting if you can invite them one day. I said it's interesting if they can come in one day and explain to us how they see it and why they do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pleasure for him to explain and give his knowledge, because he
Maybe
has a
next
lot.
Tuesday, if you
Yeah,
ask, join us, because if we do it from the beginning, we understand it. It'll be very, very interesting.
yeah. Okay, no problem.
Does it have the same effect on the copper as on aluminium and as any other?
No, on all materials, this is another reaction. It's not black, but we see all the materials are like nano coated, because all you can wash the tools, for example, and all the residue are putting out. Nothing can accroche on this, and so I think all the materials are nano coated, but they have all different reaction. It's not black, but it's, you see in the materials, it's strange reactions, and the tools who are really old and not so good, you put on this, and after 10 minutes they are like a new one. It's really interesting.
Please invite them next week,
Yeah,
and
okay.
we'll learn from everyone a little bit more. I said this is it's an interesting international teaching. Everybody brings something on. Thank you very much. But please make sure you understand in respect to the position of your course and how you run your course and the way you do your course and how you increase the power of your course in the direction you want to do it.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for your
Thank
time
you.
and thanks for the knowledge you share. Um, is there anything else for us, Rick?
There's somebody called Ace who wants to show some pictures, and he has a couple of questions. I'm not sure who this is, but we'll just to see, I guess. Ace, are you ready to share your screen there? Share your pictures? I'll unmute you so you can speak. Are you
Yes.
ready to do that now?
Yes, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't tell if it's too loud or not.
It seems pretty good.
Okay. This is an old computer. I don't know if it's gonna give me problems or not.
Okay. You see how to do the screen, the share screen?
There. Here we are.
Okay, you can see your video. So is that what you want to show? Is your video or screen share?
Yes. Yep, that's
Okay.
fine. First thing I wanted to show is I found this really neat little container. You can find these at our local gas stations and whatever for your GANs. It's a nice little round container. But my other question was in regards to the coils is this inner wire that you loop through each one, does it make a difference if you start one way or the other? That
Yes,
is,
it does. Yes, it does. It has to go clockwise into the inner coil and come out
okay.
and joins from gravitational into magnetical. No. Our guy in Innovation Center has done this for years, so he's tested it, and we see get the more powerful and the direct results in that respect. Oh, this is one of questions I asked. Why do we even put it in there? So yes,
Right.
it does. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah. And
Okay,
you have
and then I had another question in regards to the GANs. Why when you if you're making your GANs as I made the other night, if you what happens if you change the polarity or what is going on there and why is that happening?
what changes polarity. What you see in a Coca-Cola bottle, due to the current in the plasma with the string, we see the change of polarity. And anybody who's worked with the plasma conditions, especially with the gases and even with these loops, they confirm to you that they see polarity change. They see up and down in the waves of the system. The system responds to the demand in the environment of the electrons and the atomic structure in the nanocoating material. It has a balance point. When it gets to a point and a structure is released, then it goes back. When it gives its energy, it gives back. But in a way, it is made of layers of gases. It's made of layer of nano layers. And so there is a point that the maximum amount of fields can be released or absorbed, and then it returns back to the other side. The other half feeds back. What is interesting is that sometime if you put your nano coated material on the table and you keep your one side of your meter on one end and you keep moving along, you see it changes polarity. This is in a way where the lasers, how much is and where in the position, gravitational magnetic field of the nano layers of that element you use decide to go up and down or change polarity changes or whatever voltage. If you explain it in a different way, you see the flow of the current and then you see the flow of the eddy current, the reversal, till they find a balance. If you explain it in an electronic way. And
Yes,
this is what we see that change.
I see. I I made
This
a
is the way
wand.
I can explain it.
I wanted to try this, and I made a wand the other night, and I had the same phenomenon happen where the current's switching polarity, and it'll be in different spots at times. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes, I was working on something like that last night. I have the thing here. If you'll hang on a sec, I can show you.
I was wondering what country that you're in, Ace.
What's that?
What country are you in, Ace? Where are you
I'm
reporting
I'm
from?
in I'm in the USA,
Okay, thank you.
but this is what I was just. It's something that I put together just real quick. It's just three. Your I don't know if you can see this.
Yes, we can see it. It's clear.
Okay. And this is just what I wanted to try and experiment on, and I had that happen up to, you know, under 5 volts, but it would shift and change polarity. But the problem is the more I touched it, the less I got it to happen. And after putting the GANs on it, I haven't washed it or cleaned it enough to re nano coat it.
The process, what is interesting, and maybe in making the measurement tools in the future, we have to consider this, is this the current flow of the matter state, or is it the environment which takes this maximum minimum that we measure? Because now there is the flow of the magnetic gravitational field which dictates this condition. Is it the matter state, or is it the matter states which is conditioned on the plasma of the planet, which creates this positive, negative, or flow or anti-flow?
And then one more thing. This is all I have, and then I'll let you guys go ahead and keep going on. But when you when you fire nano coat these, your direction is not as simple as it seems, or is it? You get your direction right, but what about the inner gravitational coils? Because they're not really being accounted for when in your direction.
What, the one which is inside
Yes.
is the same. You start anti-clockwise with the clockwise with the gravity, and then you go back anti-clockwise with the magnetical, or reverse, depending on which side you're looking at.
Right. Yes. Correct.
You got to look at the direction which the pin has gone in.
Okay.
So you follow that, and then it comes out. It goes out to the magnetical, and then it comes back out the other way to the gravitational.
Right. Okay.
So you follow the pin in a way.
Right.
So you have to. It's the way it's been set, and it's done
Right.
gravitational or clockwise and for one, and anti-clockwise for the other. And depends how you turn it, then it'll be the other way around. Thank you very much. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing. The good thing is there's enough information on the internet how to do these things and how to fire them and how to use them. The what we see at the moment is in fact addition to the knowledge. People are adding more and more to the knowledge in different ways, the easier way to do things, and how we might add to some parameters. Can we increase the power by adding different contents into it? Can we have the mono material or gases that will increase the size? Do we need to interact in a higher way to create this kind of structure? These are all what we got to wait and see what we can do. Anybody? But did you start from the same 0 point with the meter? It's using ceramic. It looks like it looks like you're using ceramic for separation.
Is there anyone in the chat who recognizes that structure or can say something about it?
That looks like fired clay, like what you find in clay pots, the large clay pots.
Who's speaking?
This is Vivek here.
Hi, Vivek.
Hello, Mr. Keshe.
It may be clay tiles, actually. It's possible.
Yeah, it looks distinctively like that. I kind of recognize the sheen on the top plate, and it looks like fired clay.
Yeah, like a glaze. Mm-hmm.
Do we have anybody else who's got anything to show? Or
See, what else do we have here? Okay, anyone else in the viewers or panelists with something they'd like to present now or report from their area of the planet? Let's see, what else do we have here? There's of course many many entries actually in the Facebook and so on, and I'll just have to try to pick some out here.
we would like to know from the people in England.
Pardon me, Mr. Keshe, the people, we'd like to know from the people.
Hello.
Sorry, yeah, we couldn't hear that last sentence. There's some bandwidth problems here.
People who are teaching in different countries can share the feedback or the language of your country or mother tongue, if you call it a country. So if you are speaking in any language, record your teaching, because your understanding might inspire somebody down the line to do something new, and send it to the Keshe Foundation for it to be uploaded to teachings at the Keshe Foundation Space Institute, and let them record things. What is this, Gat?
Yeah, this is from Joseph Seafried, I believe his name is. And just go through some of his pictures. I think there's only a couple here. It's got.
The gentleman who put his meter up last week that is making 1 point something kilowatt saving per day. Sounds
I'm not clear on that. There's only two pictures here that we see, and the translations says Maggrav number 1 returns since 3 weeks 100% plasma energy into the web, and consumption is falling and falling and falling. And I'm smiling about and grin and always grinning broad. That was translated from the German. So obviously he's quite happy with the situation with it, at least.
As I said, now we're in a phase of testing in a school environment in a country, and we'll see how much is saved by the what do you call it, at the school. One of the biggest burdens on places like the communities is the schools and the hospitals, and a lot of them have moved over the past 10 years from the normal light, which is the heating element, to these saving lights, and this creates a fantastic time for these systems like what we have. Resistive, it doesn't matter, but because it's non-resistive, they fit in perfect, absolutely perfect. For saving electricity in hotels, especially in hospitals and public places where they already have made a change to the what do you call it, saving compressed bulbs. We were talking yesterday. This brings an additional saving on top. But what will be interesting is this process, because it's not a current flow exchange, would extend the life of these light bulbs even further. This is what we got to see and wait and see if it comes in that direction. It says, would you like to come on from Mr. Berger? Or Berger? He just put a note up on the Zoom. Rick.
Berger.
Berger, would you like to give him a chance to speak?
Sure. Okay, let's see here, just make sure that came through. Where did Max go? I just had him here, and I promoted him to panelist. Now he seems to have disappeared. Oh, there he is. Okay. So I'll unmute you there, Max. Do you want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just sent you a short message in the chat. You have probably seen that. Just to inform you, there was a big event last Saturday in Zurich about Keshe technology. More than 200 people joined that event from about 6 or 7 countries around Switzerland. And there is a private lady, which I know personally. She puts these different speeches together in German, and I send you the YouTube link where you can find the ones who understand German. And then there was actually a very, very interesting guy in there. I spoke with him. He's a physician, I think one of the best, the famous physician we have in Switzerland. And he just found out a couple of weeks ago, or 1 or 2 months, I think, ago, about Keshe technology. And that's what he said. He was waiting for dozens of years, until somebody's coming out like Mr. Keshe. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's
okay.
That's perfect.
So
I'll put the link up.
I'd actually like to contact him. Yeah, I like to contact him, and he actually would like to get in contact with Mr. Keshe. He's a real famous guy. He worked in the atomic scenery in Switzerland, in England, and
if you put him through the webmaster, put it forward to us. Just send a note with it, put as a subject your name and the name of the gentleman, and we'll get it. You go through
the webmaster. Where can I find the webmaster?
Webmaster at spaceshipinstitute.org. Spaceshipinstitute.org.
Institute.org. Yeah, he has developed years ago a tool to measure, the different kind of fields, and I think, I'll try to get him on phone. I think he's probably back to England now. I need to find out first his address, and I talk to him, and so I can make contact with you. He would very like to discuss this issue with you, Mr. Keshe.
That'll be a pleasure. Yeah. We are gathering world senior scientists together.
Yeah, he's I believe he's one of the top scientists here in this area, in Switzerland. But yeah,
we are seeing the same kind of response, and leading scientists who are impartial and are there to learn and to teach. They always find a way or a part of an answer to part of their questions in their field of expertise.
Okay.
Maybe we'll learn something from him.
Yeah, I think he's very much interested, and he probably has a good input for you and a good discussion. I'm pretty sure about that. So yeah, okay, that's the information I want to share with you. And some people which understand some German, it's Swiss German or German, they can find this. You've seen on the YouTube. There's a lady who puts, I think, some more stuff on YouTube. And there is it's probably one big event. Another big event is happening from the Keshe Group Switzerland in February. It will be organized in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and I hope we will have some information on that event as well. But that's too early at the moment to talk. Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's fine, huh?
Okay.
What was the topic of discussion in this meeting?
There were several several people talk about. There was one guy from Spaceship Institute in Spain, Valencia, a German guy. I don't have the program here with me at the moment. Hang on. See if I can find the program here. One of the issue was my petition, which I wrote 3 years ago to the Swiss Parliament, which actually I got an answer last month, a very disappointing answer, and they asked me to give some information about that. Okay, I have the program here. Well, it was first an overview over the Keshe technology from, this Lady Schneider and Adolf and Inge Schneider. You probably know them. I have seen a photo with you and this two. I think some years ago in in Belgium. So
Yes,
he gave
about
an
4
overview.
years ago we were in Germany.
Pardon?
I think it was about 3-4 years ago we were in Zurich.
I don't know where, but I have seen a picture with you with Inge Schneider, Inge, and this one, and the other one was Inge Schröder.
Yes.
Inge Schröder. I have been with Inge Schröder in I've met you shortly on the Black Sea in Varna, and that lady was on the picture, and this Schneider, Inge, and Adolf. He gave an overview, and then some other guys. The one from Spain was what was his name? Rainer Pauli. Rainer Pauli is a German guy who lives in Spain. Gave some technical and cosmic aspects to talk about that one. And then that was the doctor, physician I told before. Dr. Weber is his name, Zurich and London. And then another local guy from Switzerland, an engineer from in Basel around. He gave some information about your technology. And then we showed some work we have done. I brought my work and some other brought their work with them, and it really was exciting for the people. There was a one-day event, from morning 10 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock. And it will be repeated because of too many people. They could not come in that on Saturday, so it will be, I think, repeated in Germany, in Stuttgart, I think in April, this event. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll can send if I send the mail, I make a copy from the event. If you're interested, then I can make a copy and send it with the email. If
you put the gentleman, I think you call him Professor Weber, in touch with the webmaster, what we're trying to do in the coming weeks is to gather world scientists in respect to the Keshe Foundation technology. Number of world scientists have shown interest in trying to understand further the technology, and so we try to do an international conference for scientific world in the next 3-4 months. We are in a phase that we will announce, and then we'll see where we go. Okay. I think he will enjoy very much the contact I could establish. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Mr. Keshe, this is Ali. I rotated my coil 90 degrees. Rick, would you be able to share my video so I can show them you?
Ali, aren't you at work?
Not yet.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
No, it's about 6:30 over here. 6:30.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ali.
Okay, hi everybody. So
did you go to sleep that you're up at 6:30?
I was earlier at forum talking to Richard and Kayvon, just going through some information and
Can
collaboration.
you share his pictures, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that here. What happened to my Zoom? Just a second while I clear some windows here.
Your course should not be touching. They need a facelift.
Yeah, they need a face.
Maybe you have to relocate slightly your holes.
Yeah, look upper. So
Yeah.
the distance between these two, you think how many centimeters would be a better between the two big coils out now?
Just a second, Ellie. I'm having trouble here with getting the screen
Okay.
to come through. Okay, stop the screen share, and now we can do it. There we go.
Okay.
And I'll just make it bigger. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a rotated coil that definitely different too. And the distance between these two coils, Mr. Kish, how many centimeters do you think would be good? Should it be like about this much or maybe a little bit further, you think?
It's got to be the size of your radius.
The distance should be the size of the inner radius or the outer?
The outer.
The outer. So it should be, we should
It
take
should
one
separate
out
a little bit longer, wider, yeah.
a lot more wider. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah. Because
this
otherwise
thing.
your coils, your fields interact. Sorry
Okay.
about this. I just noticed this one in setting up a system, which we will show later on.
Okay.
That this is the problem we see.
Okay.
So it's better to correct it now that we've seen it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If I make new holes, I
Are
should
you
be
still testing for flight tonight?
That was the goal. Let's I think we have to rotate them properly and distance them apart, and to make that effect hopefully.
Okay, we'll wait for you to tell us what you're going to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. By the way, you posted a video for me that you see shimmers. What's the position?
Yeah. Yeah. I have the video. I can share that or even make it public if you would suggest to do it.
If you can share it with us, yeah. Don't
Yeah. Okay.
just share it today. Let's see what you have. Because I was trying to look at it close. We see it with naked eyes. We don't see it here.
Yeah. Let me get to the video here. Okay, so I'm copying the file, the link. I'm gonna paste the link into the chat so everybody can click on it. If you can maybe dim your lights a bit and put it on a high quality screen with bright light, that way you can see the shimmers. So I'm gonna.
You can show it to us?
Yes, I can. I'm sending it as a chat and also. So I send it to everybody so they can look at it on their screens, and I'm gonna click it to a share screen here. Go. So can you see my YouTube video? Okay, I'm gonna expand it. I shared the link with everybody, so if you have trouble seeing it, because you have to be in a really good resolution, YouTube brings the quality quite a bit down. But you'll see even kind of like a smoke effect coming from the top of the unit around, and it's like there's almost like smoke coming out of it, which is just a field distortion. And you see the shimmers in the air. They're like lights moving. There's rotations. It's really hard to see on this screen because both Zoom and YouTube bring the quality down, but I have sent you to everyone a YouTube direct link. Rick, can you see the shimmers, or is it pretty hard to see?
There's definitely
Okay.
some background stuff happening there. It's like I say, it's hard to discern.
I just watched the video on YouTube and it's very, very clear over there. It looks like noise, but it is not. Noise looks very different from that. This is very distinct.
Who's speaking?
Vivek.
Hi, Vivek.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. So yeah, I just watched the video on YouTube and I can see it like what Ali is mentioning. I can see this smoke kind of effect coming from the top, and I can see the shimmering around the structure.
Okay.
I'll make the YouTube video public. That way everybody can see it, and it should be on my channel. I can, if you like, I can also show the process of aluminum nano coating. I was showing this to Kevin and Richard this morning. If you're interested, I can show you the
Yes,
process
please.
that I
I think
use.
it's a big problem for people at the moment.
Okay, I'll just hold on a second. I'll turn back my video. Okay, hold on a second. So the best one that I found, you can go a bit higher PI as well. If you get a 25 aluminum, 25 PI aluminum, that would be ideal. It's easy to bend, and the heat wouldn't make a hole through it. So what I do is that let's see. So it depends on the width of your capacitors. So mine is about, let me grab a ruler here. So you have to look at the width of your capacitor, which for mine is about, the battery is about 10, 12 centimeters. You want to cut your foils a bit bigger, so you want to go about 13, 14 centimeters, because heating will shrink the aluminum foil. So I'm going to cut a piece here, a square piece, with a scissor, and I'm going to cut it here. So basically, you come up with a square piece here, okay, like this. And you can hang it somewhere or use a little, something to hold it like that. And you use a torch. You just go around it. So first go around it a bit. Okay. I'll do it this way. And you have to go left and right like this. Left and right. And it will straighten up the, as you can see, it's straightening up the aluminum foil. I made some holes there, but you've got to be more careful and you can get it perfectly right. Once this thing becomes really hard, once you're actually, it becomes a little bit white and it becomes nano coated, and you can just even if you put the flame, it's not going to make a hole through, you know. So it's gonna be like the sheet, and the more heat you put, the sheet becomes thinner and thinner. Okay. So if you make it really carefully, you can. Well, I got some few holes here, but if you do it perfectly, you wouldn't have any holes, and then you just wrap it around it with GANs around the inner coils of your battery, and that will basically make one of these that you have at the bottom. So inside you have one coil. It's like a Magra unit coil. Empty. Mine is empty, but you can have another wire if you like inside it. And you wrap around the aluminum coil that we just did around that inner coil. And then you have this outer coil, which you cut it in two pieces here. So you cut it in two pieces. One gets wrapped around the bottom piece, which connects to your inner coil, and the other one is wrapped around aluminum foil and becomes your positive side. And each four creates a unit that are in parallel, and you connect four of these in serial around your unit, and that will give you a good plasma flow. Do you have any questions or?
Hi, Ali.
Yes.
You know, the plasma battery you just showed. Sorry, it's Alex.
Hi, Alex.
All right. The plasma batteries you just showed, I observed that if you use the ganses of food to make it, you get the energy of food around you in your environment.
Correct.
So it's instead of putting any sort of ganses, use them. Try to use them food ganses to make the plasma capacitors and batteries.
Yes, yes.
Can you explain, Alex? Can you explain?
Explain how?
What do you mean by putting the GANs of fruit or whatever?
I mean, if you want, for instance, if you want beef or something, you can. If you make the ganses of beef, for instance, and then you use the ganses to put on the paper you put in the capacitor, to use it to power the reactor, you get instant, not just the feeding effect, because like what I did the same thing, but in a different way. If I sit close to my reactor for a long time, I feel so, I mean, it's something I can't explain. I feel so good and so relaxed, and I just don't want to eat.
Is it the plasma reactors or the stacker units?
The stacker unit, but it's not. It's a stacker unit. It's not even really built. It's just some badly put together stacker unit. 3 of them in layers, in 3 stacked layers, and then I connected the
Okay,
the
Alex, now you're here. Let's do it a different way. Because I think you gotta do it. I was gonna bring you in, but now you walked in yourself. Explain. Yeah, that's unfortunate with me, isn't it? You're traveling on Thursday back to Nigeria, so it's the best time. I was gonna ask Rick if you're there to call you in.
all right.
Would you like to explain about the split reactor, split capacitor batteries
Yeah.
with the aluminum and the paper and show how you do it?
I would have loved to show it, Mr. Kesh, but there's no way I can show it now because I'm not where I can do it. But if you want, I can
Okay,
explain. I can
can
explain it.
explain it and we show it. Let me explain this. This is on the back of the, what do you call it, developing the new split capacitors and the split batteries. What Alex has done, he has split the whole structure in half battery, half capacitor. So you have a totally a new structure, and I'll let him to explain. You understand what it is. The way we showed that you put a coil in two halves, Alex has taken it to the next step in splitting it further.
Mr. Keshe, maybe you could draw it on your pad, or is there some
Okay,
some
Alex,
reference
you
we could have?
explain, I'll draw.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mr. Kish, I have kind of a the battery that the inner is out, so I can easily show it on my screen if you like, and you can see the inner and outer coil.
No, this is a new this is a new battery capacitor, which Alex will explain, and I just draw it. We were talking a couple of days ago about it, so it's the back of the, it's an extension to the knowledge. So we'll see. Okay, Alex, you go ahead and follow your drawing. This is the center coil, yeah, the center core, the nano-coated wire, which goes in the center.
I just discovered that you can use a rod as well. You can use a brass rod or any rod.
You can use any material.
Yeah, you can use any material.
Okay, any material.
But it's then you put it in a tube, in a plastic tube, nano-coated tube.
Okay. Then you put this in a plastic nano-coated tube. Yeah. Let me explain to you another way which we discussed. Alex uses not a single piece of wire. He uses the stranded normal wires of the cables you use at home with the stranded wires inside. And he nano-coats the wire. It takes longer through caustic that the wire inside the plastic gets nano-coated. Or now he uses a, what do you call it? He uses a wire, copper wire, and then he puts a plastic on top of it. Correct?
Yes, Mr. Kesh.
Okay, tell me, take us to the next step.
And then you make the ganses. Well, this is the one I use that I was talking about. You make the ganses of food, and then you put it on a tissue paper.
Yeah.
And then you wrap the tissue paper all along to the end of the tube. Yeah.
The whole lot, the whole length.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is the copper wire, let's say.
Okay.
Now this is the plastic, or in a way you don't need to strip the wire.
No, you don't strip
the plastic or the cover. Okay. And now this is the GANs with the paper. Okay. That's the paper. Okay. We got the paper. And then here you have covered this environment with the GANs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
now you get aluminum foil. Half of the tube you put aluminum foil in it.
Okay, this half gets aluminum foil. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and then
yeah.
And then you roll.
Let's explain it. You can put a GANs in this environment or not. You can do either way. You can leave it as it is or use it with the GANs.
I didn't understand the question, Mr. Kesh.
Between the aluminum and the paper in this section, you don't.
No, just leave it. You can put CH3 in between the aluminum and the paper outside. Yeah.
Okay.
That's optional. That's optional. I've done it several ways. It still works the same way.
Okay.
And then on the aluminum sheet and foil, you roll around a coated wire, a coil. You put a coil.
Nano-coated wire. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go this way. You use a nano-coated wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes that
And
way.
then no,
And
you
you
join
connect
it to
it.
Yeah. You connect that to
Connect it back to the coil, to the center part, to the negative.
All right. And then you make another coil.
You make another coil here. Yeah.
Okay, and then leave that alone for now.
Okay.
And then you make 3 coils at the other end of it.
On the paper side.
On the paper, yeah, make 3 coils on the paper.
You make a coil 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Okay.
This
And
we
then
call it. You got to see. Let me explain. This is aluminum on aluminum 1, on aluminum 2. This is on the paper 1, paper 2, paper 3.
Yeah. Okay. Now you take the aluminum 2, the coil from the aluminum 2, you link it up to the coil on aluminum 2.
I take the aluminum coil 2. Yeah. Where do I connect it to?
To 2 of the other side of the this
P2.
of the P2, yeah.
Yeah, so you want me to do a connection between this and this, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. And that's it. Now, if you want to power the reactor, you take the negative from the P1 and then the positive from P3 to power the reactor.
No. Wait. To power a reactor, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You connect
the negative P1 and A1. You take
the
A1.
negative A1.
Yeah.
What do you mean, the A1 here?
Yeah, no, the one there, the one underneath.
Here.
Yeah, no, sorry, the one up. The one up, the one you touched before, yeah. That goes to the negative of the reactor.
That gone to the negative of the reactor in one end, is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That now goes to the negative. You can take it from the up or down. You can take it from anywhere.
Yeah.
To the reactor, to the negative of the reactor.
This one goes to the negative of the reactor, to the power supply, to the power unit.
To the reactor itself.
What reactor?
I mean, the stacker. I mean, if you want to use it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, to the power unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you take the positive from the P3.
You take the positive from P3, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. That's all.
And that it goes to the power unit.
No. Well, if you want to put it in the power unit, I mean, to the grid or to the reactor, which power unit are you talking about?
I don't know. You said you connect the negative to the power unit to the stacker, yeah?
Yeah, to the stacker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all. And then
this side you connect to the negative of the.
No, to the positive. To the positive. That side is the positive of the stacker. That is the negative, and that's the positive.
So that's a negative. Okay, we know it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you connect this. This becomes a new power supply for the stacker unit without the connecting to the power supply.
No, you don't have to connect to the power supply.
No.
But you put it in parallel. You make them in parallel because one is not strong enough to.
Okay. The way we suggested it was to put 4 of this unit in parallel and then put 4 of this in series. What it does is that this gives you an stable voltage and current production. And there is one thing which, Alex, I think you better tell them before I do, is that do not expect immediate power. You have to let it and the power builds up.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, because it's a battery capacitor. It's a loop.
It's a loop, it's a battery and a capacitor. Yeah. So as the first section creates power, The second section stores it, and as it stores itself through the feedback, feeds the capacitor. So the system is continuously feeding itself and it builds up. Do you want to tell us how much voltage you think you can get from this?
From Mr. Keshe, if you use your voltmeter, it's really useless. If you want to try it, maybe you can put some little LEDs or something, because the voltmeter doesn't really, it gets some voltage from it, but it's not really getting telling you what it's reading.
But it really does as a plasma.
Yeah, the way I tried it, I showed you the lights. When I use it when I pass the free energy I'm getting from the system, when I pass it through this system, it boosted up the current like at least 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Keshe, I have a question. Vivek here. What does P1 connect to, or is it left unconnected?
Left
P1 is
on
connected back.
Pardon? You
Which
explain.
one? Oh, P1 is left empty because if you want to connect, if you want to use it to connect like a battery or put it on the grid, this one is left to go to the grid. If you want to use it to power something from the grid, you connect to P1 and then to maybe A1 and so on as the negative, P1 as the positive to the grid.
So we can't do it. If you want to go to P1 and A1.
Yeah, you can go to the grid. If you want to go to the grid.
So that would be the plasma feedback into the grid.
Yes.
Most likely, I've not tried it to feedback, but I think if you want to get power, like if
yes,
I want to use
the answer is yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Answer is yes.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
And then, Mr. Keshe,
yeah.
Like I told you about this unit, if you put each of these units on your socket, I think it's going to save you a lot of electricity as well.
Yeah, what is saying? But which side you connect into the plug of the electricity?
We have to find that out, Mr. Keshe. I've done it, but I can't explain it now. My brain is empty. I've not slept last night.
Oh, charge it up. Take a couple.
All right. I'll find out.
Do you want me to explain it, or do you want to come into it?
Yeah, go on, Mr. Keshe.
No, you go, because you understand exactly what. Because let me explain to you how Alex sees the connection. This is more or less a combined Alex bead and the coil system mixed together. This, if is applied the correct way, connected the correct way, should give you up to over, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 100% power reduction. What you've seen with Alex's system. But so we will release the green, what do you call it, the blueprint of this in the coming days.
Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
Maybe I just explain quickly what I did, how I connected to the grid.
Yes.
I made another one. I made another one like this.
Yeah.
And then I connected the negative to the negative.
You connected the I'm just gonna put it down that I can write it. Okay, you connected the negative, which is here. I'm presuming this negative, yeah?
Yeah, to the negative of the new one I made.
Okay, I'll put here, let's say Q. You connected the Q.
And then the grid, you take the grid from the A1 to the P1, that's the grid, and then the power out.
Well, okay, wait. A1
to P1 goes to the grid.
To P1 goes to the grid, yeah.
And then the load is from the A3 to the other A3 of the
What's the A3?
This P3, sorry, P3.
P3.
To the P3 of the other one, the other cell.
Unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
to the P3 of a second cell.
Yeah, but you have to connect. You have to connect you have to connect it back on itself. Can you take it up a little bit? Take the yeah. You have to make sure that the A2 is connected to the P2.
Yeah.
On the other one.
On the next unit.
Yeah, you have to make sure that the A2 is connected to the P2.
A2 in the second unit.
Yeah.
In the second unit, you got to make sure A2 is connected to P2, as it is here.
Yeah.
And then you connect the
P3. Load.
Hello?
Yeah. P3 to
P3 of the next system.
Yeah.
That and then where would you connect the Q of the next system here?
That is the load. Well, that's here is the positive, that's the P3 of the A of the first one, and then the P3 of the Q is the load. So the load.
So you connect this one to the Q, not to the to the Q, not to the P3.
The P3 one, that is the positive, that's the load, positive of the load, and then the Q3 is the negative of the load.
No, Alex, stop.
All right, let me take it. Let's take it again.
Okay.
You got this first one.
I'm going to take this paper away and rewrite it.
Just make 2 units.
Okay, I'll make 2 units. Just wait. Bless me, Father. That's the... That is this. This is this. This is
it's
this.
3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock. Good. That's, we call it AB1, because it's a B unit. AB2, we call PB1, PB2, and PB3. Okay? So tell us how we're gonna go.
Okay, now. Can you put it? Well, it doesn't matter. All right, this is the one with the green thing is the first one you did is first one. That's the main one.
Yes. Okay, I'll put this one here. Then it's easier for you.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Okay. Tell me what I have to write.
We can't see the other one properly. Push it a little bit upward.
Up here. Okay.
A little bit more further.
Further. Okay.
Okay, now. All right, now. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's start with the grid. What goes to the grid now? The grid form.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, before that, you connect the negative, both negative together from A1 to
B. You want me to connect this to this?
Yeah.
Okay, we connect this to this, okay? To be parallel.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you take to the grid now. Let's go to the grid now. You take from the Q, from the A1 as a negative,
yeah.
And then P3 as a positive to the grid.
This is the negative of the grid here.
Yeah.
R.
And then the
is
positive,
the negative of the grid.
No, that's the positive.
That's the negative of the thing.
Yeah, that's the positive. The right is the positive. That is the negative.
Yeah.
And then the right is the positive.
R is the negative, yeah?
Yeah.
And then P3 is positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this first one, you don't connect the A2 to P2. You leave it empty.
So we don't connect A2 to P2. No.
This is when you putting it on the grid. It's a different configuration.
Okay. No A2 to P2 for the grid.
Okay. Now you go to AB.
Okay.
From the you take AB to PB, AB to PB2.
Which one?
That
AB2.
one, yeah, that one, yeah, AB2
Yeah.
to PB2.
PB2. Okay. Yeah.
And then now to get the load,
Yeah.
PB3,
PB3.
that's the negative of the load,
PB3 as a negative of a load. Yeah.
and then P3 is the
Positive.
positive of the load.
And then P3 is a positive of the load. This is for the,
If you want to go, if you want to go on the grid, if you want to put it on your socket, like you put it in your house socket, if you put this behind your socket before you attach anything to it, you're gonna run at least 50. From what I've seen, at least 50%, because I was using the battery. I was using an inverter to test it.
okay. So what are you going to, this is not to load the power the stacker.
No,
This
this is not for the stacker.
configuration, pardon?
This is not for the stacker. This is for the grid. If you want to use it on the grid.
This is if you want to connect to your back of the, what we call the fuse, the socket.
Exactly.
Okay, or what they call it, prise in French. So we go through this step by step that everybody understand. The two stacker is a different proposition than the first single stacker. The single stacker is half aluminum, half paper with the wrapped guns in between, 2 coils on the aluminum and 3 coils on the paper side. If you want to connect to the power supply, you take the negative from the gravitational field or the center point, and you take your positive from P3, and in this configuration you connect the second coil to the second paper from the aluminum to the paper side. This is used to feed battery, supply plasma to the power supplies, to the stackers. This is for the stackers. You need to put something like 4 of these in parallel, which means you connect the ends, and then you put 4 of these stackers of 4 in series with each other to give you a continuous voltage current as a plasma flow into your stacker, that it will increase and amplitude increases by time. In innovation center, to
You said the amplitude would increase by how much if it
the
possible?
amperage and the voltage increases. The power of the unit as you let it run increases. Am I correct, Alex?
Yes, Mr. Keshe.
Correct?
Yes.
It needs time for it to build up. And you can connect this to your power supply, to your stacker, as part of the power supply, and you can see the current builds up slowly. It's part of the structure converting the as a piece testing in innovations. I was talking to them this morning that this will create a continuous DC plasma. Now we are converting it to a AC amplitude plasma by connecting this unit, this structure here, to another unit before feeding into the stacker to create a plasma pulse that creates the hopefully the total generator system. We see this in the coming time, but this is combination of here a battery with a plasma. You cannot do that in a matter state, but because you're using GaNs and nano-coated material, this gives you this opportunity. This is itself a major breakthrough in a continuous containment of a battery. Then you have to decide what you want to get from it, and you do it. But now Alex is taking it to the next step. The next
Mr.
step
Kesh?
is
Mr. Kesh,
yes.
1 minute, just 1 minute. You know the P2.
Yeah.
You can connect it. You can etch the P2.
You can earth the P2, and do you want me to explain to them if you earth the P2, which is connected to A1, connect?
No, it's not connected. Just add the P2 by itself. No, this one you don't connect this one because it's just a
Okay,
single.
we are in different position. Okay. Now, if you don't connect A2 to P2 and you earth the P2, there is a possibility that it gives you the 50 Hertz cycle.
Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So what it does, because we know this with Alex for a few months, this behaves this way, but it is to be tested. So if you don't connect the A1, you can connect the A1 to P1 and connect the P2 to Earth. Or you can connect the A1, A2 to P2, Earth P1. One of these three, if it's connected to, what do you call it, to Earth, will enforce resonance, or what you call frequency. We know this for sometimes, but it needs to be checked. This saves a lot of time and money in resonance, but you have to amplify it. Then you have to earth just one of these systems, and how you earth it, it's the way you can connect it to a sink, you can connect it to whatever you like.
Go to the ground. Yeah.
To the ground.
Mm.
But the next step, which is going through, is now you made one of these, you build the second one, but what you do, you connect the two together. What this means is that what this means is, let me finish here first. In the first one is that we wrote here, if you connect P1 and A1 to the grid, you connect the A2 and P2 to each other, you connect the negative and a positive to the load. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Kesh.
So that gives you a performance of a battery, but on its own to the grid for your power supply to the stacker. If you add a second to it, a second parallel system, you connect the base together, which is a parallel. Then you connect the PB3 to the negative of the load, and P3 to the positive of the load, and the load is the point where you plug your system in. That's inside the plug. You should be able to nano-coat the wiring inside the house very rapidly and create a free energy internally in the system. The A2 here gets connected to P2 for the grid. Here he connects the A2, AB2 to PB2. The question, Alex, you have to explain where do you connect this system in the second part, in two parts, to the grid, because now you get the PB3 and P3 to be connected as positive and negative of the load. How do you connect the back end to the grid?
From the AL1 at the end of it
AL1,
as a negative, and then the P3 as a positive to the grid.
you're using the same P3 as you're going to the load, as you're going to the
To the grid,
to the grid.
yeah. But
So
the negative has to be connected from to the grid right on the A1, the end of the A1, just the end of by the end of it, the tail end of it.
But I mean the tail end, the central one, the negative.
Yeah, the negative, yeah, the central line, yeah, it has to be on the central line.
So the negative is on the point of what we call the Q. Here, the Q is here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you connect the Q to negative, and you connect the positive to P3, and this connects to your grid. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is to your grid in the back of the box, and this is connects to the front of your. You literally got to put a box next to your box and connect this into the fuse box. So you will get, in a way, at your fuse box up to 50% reduction in the power supply or in your power consumption. We are testing this. This is going to test this morning with the Innovation Center in another direction. You got to realize how important this is. In a coming time, in the next few weeks, we will show you the importance of the use of this system and the importance of the use of plasma load. This here gives you a total plasma load. And what this means is we create a plasma and we use the plasma. So this here, this load here, not only can be used for your fuse, it can be used for the new systems which do not work anymore as what you call electron vibration, the present current system. With this system, we'll get, as usual, Renan to go through this exactly with Alex, and this will go as part of the blueprint page that will be added to the structure. So on the blueprint page in the coming time, you will see how this is done and what exactly it does. And I want you to go through it once more, Alex, because we went over two things at the same time. And we will explain it in a very, very short way, but in a very practical way. Can we go through it? Do you have time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start from the beginning and then we go very quickly with it. This is your center.
Principle.
Pardon?
We call it the principle.
The principle. Then you had the paper guns.
No, not the, before the paper guns. You have the tube. It's in the tube. Yeah.
It's in the
Most
tube, sorry, yeah?
yeah, you have to
This
put
is
it.
your plastic. Then you had your paper GANs on it. And then we added aluminum foil in one part of it, correct?
Yeah.
Then we put 3 coils on the nano-coated coils on the paper side. We put 2 nano-coated coils on the aluminum side, correct?
Yeah, but bend, we all have to bend the wires back to itself. You have to bend all
Pardon?
the you have to bend all the wires back on itself.
Yeah, that we understood by now. So now we make a second one here, the same way, with a plastic coating, with a paper, with aluminum, with the 2 coils. We call this one A1, A2, P1, P2, P3. We call this one AB1, AB2, PB1, PB2, and a PB3. Correct?
Yeah.
So we connect, we use the green line for connection, then we are right here. You connect the A1 back to the back, correct?
Yes, Mr. Keshe.
Okay. We connect this back to here. We call this Q. We connect A2 to P2, correct?
Yeah. That one is for the stackers, just to power the stacker alone, not to go to the grid.
Okay. A2, P2 is for a stacker only. We put right. A2 connected to P2 is for a stacker. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you have the P3.
Okay.
When you use this part on its own, this is for a stacker, correct?
Yes.
So we call the stacker, let's say, the one connection. One connection is for a stacker. Okay. To connect this to the power supply or to the stacker, we need a wire from Q to be connected to P3. Yes?
Yeah.
This connects to the positive,
Negative.
the negative to the positive
Yeah.
of the stacker.
Mm.
And for the load, where does the load go?
So this powers the stacker.
This powers the stacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you want to enhance, maybe if you want to get the heads or so on it, you just connect the P2 to the earth, to the ground.
Okay. If you want to get, do you
The
want to
head,
connect P2 or you want to connect P1?
P1, yeah, P1 to the
Okay.
ground.
Here, if you want to get a phase shift,
Frequency or something.
we call it a phase shift. You connect P1 to Earth. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That is for the stacker.
Hmm.
Let me write it here that you can see. Now, we have a second case, which connects the number, what do you call it, 1 to number 2. This is, let's call it units Y to unit Z. Okay?
Yeah.
If you connect the unit Y to Z, this is a separate structure, and this is for
The block.
plugs,
Yeah.
for the home plugs. But it
Mm.
has to be milled separately to be connected to the plug. Please, you have to try this yourself to confirm its work. Okay? So, what you need to do,
You
I put
connect
here before we forget, is A2 has to be connected to P2 in this structure, huh?
yeah.
A2 has to be connected to P2. Okay. In the second position, you need to connect, carry on,
A1,
pardon?
A1, A1
A1
to AB1.
for plug. Let me write it 2 for plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
for plug. You got to connect
A1
A1, yeah,
to AB1.
to AB1.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Or in
But
the
at the
center?
Q,
Because
at the
they get
Q.
connected to the
At the,
center anyway. These two are
oh,
fed back, yeah? So in the center points, we connect to each other.
oh, you connect
Yeah?
them already.
Pardon?
I didn't understand that, Mr. Kesh.
We connect the Q to
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
let's say, we connect the Q to P.
yeah.
Oh, okay, Q to, let's say, let's say R. Yeah? You
Okay.
connect Q to R. Okay? Connect. This is connecting. Q to R. That becomes your negative, correct?
Yeah, that becomes that way. That links both together. That I mean, it's both
The link
negative.
comes together. You
Yeah.
connect Q to R. Q is there, you connect it. I'll put a connect here, yeah?
Okay.
You connect this to this for this.
Like
And
in
then
parallel.
this connects to,
What connects to now? If you want to put it on the grid, if you want to take it to the grid now.
yeah, you put, yes, going to the grid. This gets connected to here. You connect the Q to the R to,
So, in case you're breaking up,
yes, as I'm waiting for you.
you're breaking up, Mr. Kesh. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. You connect Q to R and you connect it to,
No, you connect Q to arrow. That's connecting it in parallel now, putting it in parallel, and then you connect.
yeah.
This is for the grid now. This is for the plug
Yes,
socket.
yes, yes, yes. And then we
Okay.
connect this to
And
the negative.
which one to the negative? Yeah, to the
This
negative of the
line.
grid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that
connect
is negative.
negative of the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We connect this Q to R and we connect it to the negative of grid. Yeah?
And then the positive has to come from the other side because the positive the positive has to come from the P2 because AB can you take the paper up a little bit, Mr. Kesh?
Yeah.
All right. Because if you go into the grid, you have to connect feedback AB1 or AB2 to PB1 or PB2. If you have to feed that back.
Okay, you're gonna do AB1 to
PB1 or 2.
PB1 or PB2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now.
And that makes what? That makes the positive.
No, that is feeding back. That's feeding that back into onto itself.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just feeding because now you put in it connecting.
Feedback. Okay, this is a feedback.
Yeah, that's a feedback.
Okay.
And then you connect the positive to the grid.
Which one is the positive?
P1, P3.
P3
is the positive of the grid, and then
P3 is the positive of the grid. Yeah. And where do we?
And positive of the grid, and you can take the positive of the load from there as well, or you take the positive of the load from P1 or P2, depending on how you connected it.
Okay. For the load side, yes, I connect what?
PB3, that's the negative, because that's the one you connected on itself.
PB3
Yeah.
as a negative, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the positive?
P2 or P3, I told you before.
P2 or P3?
P3. Any of the
P1 or P2?
P1, P2, or P3 can go as a positive as the load.
Positive as a positive. Okay. For the load.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the load, this is your connection. For the grid, this is your connection. Yeah. This is the grid, and this is the load connection. So you have.
But Mr. Keshe,
Yeah.
make sure that the side that is connected on itself, that is not the side that you take to the grid. Like
which side?
If you're gonna put A1, if you're gonna connect A1 to P1, that should not be the side that is gonna go on the grid. The one that is gonna go on the grid is the other side, the opposite side of it, the one that is not connected to itself. Did you get that?
Yes, I get it. That what I'm trying to see how we're gonna write it.
Okay.
So because we went for the grid, the QR connection, both of them are connected. If you look, both of them are connected to the grid here, according to what you put in.
Okay.
PB3 is your negative for the load.
No.
P1 of.
I'm confused a little bit, Mr. Keshe. Take the paper up.
I'm picking the paper up.
All right. So let me just explain it here directly. If you take in the load,
yeah,
the Q, which is there, that is a negative to the grid. The P3 is a positive to the grid. And then if you connect the Q of the A1 to the Q of the AB1, which means you put them in parallel. And then now, if you want to load it, if you want to take a load from it, either you take the positive from the A3, P3, P2, or P1, or did you get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to take the load, it's either you take the positive from any of these ones, the P1, P2, P3, and then the negative from the PB3, PB2, or PB1.
Yeah. So here the P1, P2, or P3 becomes your positive, and your negative for the load becomes PB3.
Yeah, well, you can try it yourself and then use your your voltmeter to see where the connections are.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use don't just do it and put it straight on it. Just use the voltmeter.
We're gonna get this done by Innovation Center guys in matter of a couple of days. We put a blueprint of this out. This is a short circuit system to produce the, what do you call it, for a single plug, if you want to reduce the power further. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, Mr. Keshe.
You're happy with that.
And then when I passed the free energy through this system, I was able to load as much. I ran out of lamps. I put about 4, 5, 6 watt 6 watt lamp. They all lit up. All of them lit up. So I can put as much as I want.
Where?
When I used my the free energy as the grid.
The stacker, you mean?
No, when I use the free energy from the grid, I mean the free energy I have from the washing machine and the ground.
Yeah.
When I use it to pass through the system, I could stabilize the lights properly, and then I could add as much load as I had. But I mean, I only had about three lamps of about.
But where do you put the load? At the end of this unit?
Yeah, just the same way. Just the same way. The load is just the same way it was.
Yeah, but you have to explain that your washing machine is already part of your stacker unit connection.
Yeah, of course, it's part of the MAGRAPH system in the house.
Part of the MAGRAPH system. This is in the back of the MAGRAPH system after the load. Yeah, so this is part of the same structure, adding more to it. So we see the structure which this brings. This should give you a longer power supply and a longer what you call capacitance. This is on the back end of the production of the stabilizers battery, where the battery continuously produces and the capacitor holds. When you put a number of these back to each other, you can fit them into the 9-volt battery. You can fit them into the A4 battery. Don't forget, you don't need to use A14 with these. You can use very thin wires. And the center wire here is itself, what do you call it, a stranded wire itself. So you can use the same kind of stranded wires, slightly thicker for this job. But if you go into the grid point and connect into the plug, you need to go on the A14, M14 gauge. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Have a wonderful, safe journey to Nigeria. And
okay, thank you.
All the best with the Nigerian Keshe Foundation and your teaching group.
Walk all the way.
Pardon?
I said to walk all the way.
What do you mean walk? Oh, of course, that's why you're going there.
Yeah.
And I wish all the best for Arsenal while you're away.
I saw your match last week. You got beat.
You got beaten?
No, you got beat. Man, you got beat last week. Oh, it was 3-3 with I think it was I don't even know, some unknown club.
We had a good result at Liverpool anyway. That was good.
Oh, come on, Mr. Keshe, for once.
We got at the moment. We got to wish for whatever comes at the moment with United.
Don't worry, I'll send you some tissue. Don't worry, I'll send you some tissue.
No, it's okay. I've cried enough. That's enough.
As much as you want.
We had the joyful time, you know. How many years can you be on top?
Oh, that was the last time. That is why I'm telling your boy to come to Arsenal, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful time in Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
All the best.
All right, bye.
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 We'll get the teaching from you in Africa.
What you say?
I said we get teachings from you from Africa when you're in Nigeria.
Yeah, soon. As soon as I get there, I'll fix something up.
Thank you very much indeed. All the best.
Safe journey. Yeah, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Rick, do we have anything else? We are nearly at 20 to 5.
Yeah, we can have a quick run through of some of the latest showings from the Blueprint site from people uploading there. just do a share. Okay, we can see on the, this is the blueprint.keshefoundation.org site, which is people's creations of the blueprint constructions from the Magrav's power unit, for people who aren't aware of what all those terms are. And I see one of the things here is from Peter van der Otelaar. I believe that's from the Netherlands. And he's added, there's almost a total of 500 photos in his profile here that he's added with all the different things that they've done over the last few months, creating all these coils and nano-coating them and so on. The full process is detailed out there. And then we drop down, there's Austria, has from Olaf C.G. Friedel, St. Conrad, Austria, his first Magrav, which he connected to the grid yesterday. This is Friday, January 8th. And
last week.
Pardon me?
10 days ago. Today was the 18th.
Yeah. And there's a couple of videos there of his setup. We could have a look at that. There's another setup from China, from JXLI, China. I'm not sure who that is exactly. There's some pictures there. And there's Poland is represented by another unit from back in January 7th. And then January 6th, another unit from Austria, which is a transparent, you might be able to have a look at that. It's got a transparent, looks like acrylic kind of base for it. Quite neatly done. You can have a look at a couple of those pictures. Alright, so that's the basic unit there. And I think we covered a couple of these other ones from before, so that's some of the latest ones on the Blueprint site. There's more to be uploaded there. And there's other sites as well. The different community networks are popping up, and people are posting their power units quite often in Facebook as well. There's it goes on and on depending on what we'd like to have a look at. And I was wondering if there's anybody else in the panelists or viewers that might have something to talk about or show right now as far as these setups go, or something to add to the knowledge. Or is there something you'd like to get into now, Mr. Keshe? We've got a few minutes left here. Is there another topic
Not
that
really.
you need to bring up?
We try to cover the health section on Thursday. We built up to the introduction of the first full cancer system, full medical system from the Keshe Foundation. The way we introduced the power unit, we released for the first time on the 11th of February, the first health unit, which is applicable more or less to all diseases. This was the ultimate goal. This will be a preliminary unit. This unit, as we'll explain more, can be used for every disease known to man. Be it the autoimmune system, change of the uh, bone marrow, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, for everything else. We give you the basic framework. We show you the basic framework, and this framework will become the backbone for the future space exploration on the plasma condition. We show you how to make it on a blueprint. We will not make a unit. We leave it to general public, to the followers of the Keshe Foundation, to put these on the streets. You don't need to do anything. A man walks on the street, has a cancer, you made so many coils. He can use it with the freedom of his thought. Man's got a Parkinson, does the same. This unit will introduce a little bit the base, is the first stone in the big block of the health application on a plasma condition. We show you how to do it, how to make it. Instead of spending 7 days or 7 days we spend on the MAGRAPH system, with this, all of you understand very quickly and you'll walk through it. Build, put it, the way you are giving systems free or making system teaching the others, take these systems into public areas. Let people understand the change. Let them feel the change. Let them walk with a cancer, with a pain, and then they see they can come back again 3, 10 times a day. Just use it. Let people decide. Let them say they don't have any more pain. Let the doctors come back and say we can't see any sign of cancer, we can't see any sign of diabetic. We'll show you a collection of physical units. And then we expect to see what you have done with the MAGRAPH units. In the following week, after the 11th and the 18th, we'll show the first units for agriculture and decontamination, and that'll be another blueprint day. The process, as I said, after January, it'll be rapid. We will change the course of the health in the space. We are not here to change or compete with pharmaceuticals. We show the systems. Once you start building the units, your space reactors, your space ship design completed, you need the units to be able to feed, to be able to protect yourself in the space. It's not that we're going to build a spaceship and then wait till we teach something about the health. Now, each one of you divides in different groups. Groups of you divide in more groups. Get specialized. And collectively, as you specialize, because you understood how to make the nanomaterial, how to MAGRAPH, how to make the MAGRAPH system, how to make the power generators, how to split reactors, you understand, then you know how to build the health system. In space, you are on your own because you went through the understanding from the basic of matter to the plasma, to the GANs and the MAGRAPH system and the energy unit. Now, this is what I told you from the beginning. Man in space will not need anything else except himself to rely on, and I've done my job. By teaching you that part, now you can use the same system to feed yourself, to remedy yourself. If anything goes wrong, you can correct. So you can see the way we are going. We are not here in competition with no pharmaceutical, with no energy unit, with no space agency. So some of you start building the structure for the spaceship. We might have a new demonstration for you in the coming days. And then you start building the health unit. You use the pen to localize. Now we show you literally a system you've never seen, but you can produce. Total cost maybe $50. Then you have to decide how do you want to use it, how you want to promote it, how you want to develop it, and how you want to share it with your community. You can use the same system to feed hungry people. I promise you, in time, people will come, drink a glass of water, or in the space there is no water, you stand in the position and you receive whatever you need. So in Africa, in third world nations, no child will go hungry. And it costs less than $20, $50 to produce the system to feed a village for life. The Keshe Innovation System team is working on it. They are developing the system for health. And we will show you a full structure. This is, we usually do the health on Tuesday afternoon, but we build up the situation to the 18th, to the 11th for the Blueprint Day. And if Rick and Vince and the others would like to advertise it around, that people know what it is to be there, you will see the first full operating system. This is a very crude system, but is there to inspire those who understand to go to the next level. Then, in the same day, we show you how you can use the same type of technology to repair like heart valves, to remove, to concentrate on tumors, or if it needs to be a repair that you don't need to open the stomach to do a surgery to remove a part which is a lazy part, or you don't need to ask for a bone marrow to fit a child's life leg that he might survive. A stem cell technology stops on this track from now on.
Mr. Keshe, could you give us the date on that again so people know?
It is
February.
Thursday the 11th, the second week of February.
Okay, thank you.
We announced it last week. This week, we go more deep into it. We try to see, and on the 18th we'll try to. There is something which I have to warn you: do not stick to the date, because we can change that date anywhere we like. We might change it to March, we might change it to January, the whatever you call it. When we feel the whole thing is in position, the Innovation Center can produce the blueprints ready for it, we will release it. So what we are aiming, and in so many ways part of the teaching of past 3 months, 6 months, has added to it the first non-intrusive health system for any type of disease. But we give you the first frame structure. It's for you and the others to add to it. For this reason you need this, for that you need this combination, for this disease you need this. I did this, it gave me something else. It's not that we don't have the knowledge. As with the prototypes of the blueprint, we will show you a working system. This be the Alzheimer's, this be the cancer, this be the bone marrow deficiency, immune system, this system will apply to it. You have to understand how to use it and how to apply it. We have no problem in entering into the space technology the way we done it. We are a complete structure. Our people, which is you, understood, and you're working that way. In so many ways, we'll go to the next step, ready for what we said, to have a full spaceship, but at the same time have all the other facilities to it. There's no use having a house when you can't put furniture in it, and you cannot cook in it or feed yourself in it. And this is what we are doing. We are furnishing the house. Some of you will build the house in the coming time. Some of you will work on the furniture, the food, the health, agriculture, and whatever you use here is a byproduct of the new technology. On the 25th, we've been assured that the certificates for health pens and pans will be issued by the EU standards, and within 2 or 3 days you can purchase them. These are all certified. They are not the same as what we received a lot of what are called substandard belts, which was supplied from China. They're all, even the cloth is certified for health use. This is manufactured in Italy by the Keshe Foundation Manufacturing, and it will be presented and delivered once we receive the certification to go on the boxes. The power units was all supplied, and what we've done, there was some complaint about the plugs. The new systems carries 2 plugs, one for the both end of the unit with adapters, multinational. This all been put in past few days in the units which are living to sort that problem out. And we apologize if you received the unit. You have to understand that we are producing brand new technology. You might receive a faulty unit, so it's with a lot of companies. 5% of units can be faulty, we replace them. It's not that the system doesn't work, it's in the hand of human beings. We are moving the factory in next 60 days to a new location for production, and that allows us to produce new kind of equipments for production, new units. I thank you very much for all your help. You've been the builder of the foundation, and as we see, meetings goes on every day somewhere around the world. People are teaching, but please, when you teach as you did in Germany, record it and send it to Keshe Foundation, that the others in your language can be inspired. Thank you very much for today. If there are no questions, we can close the session for today.
Okay, well, of course, there always is more questions and so on, but it is time to end the session for today. So we can always put forth those GANs questions to the Knowledge Seekers Workshop on Thursday, perhaps, and other questions.
Yes, we try to explain more. We speak in the plasma condition, and you see now we're going more and more into plasma and more innovations in the same direction to make it much easier to produce systems which are more or less totally plasmatic, and they respond in plasma condition. Thank you very much for Alex. Wish you all the best and safe journey to Nigeria.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
With
I just want to
Yes.
tell everyone, don't forget to use the food ganses for your plasma battery split capacitors.
We already explained that a couple of weeks ago while you're not here, Alex.
Oh, okay. Okay.
People already know they can put the fruits and the ganses of what they need into the ganses of the batteries or the what do you call it, capacitors.
All right then.
We already covered up.
All right.
But you're in Nigeria doing your good work. Thank you very much indeed, Alex. Safe journey.
Thank you. All right.
Don't forget the unit. Don't forget the unit for Benjamin.
Oh yeah, I already packed it up.
You already packed it up. Okay. All the best.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Ali, for your work in the background and your team. Ali has the spaceship organization for development of the spaceship. And thank you very much for the Swiss delegation. We learned a lot from you today.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I appreciate it.
Thank you indeed. Have a safe. We meet on Thursday morning.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, and everybody who were the guests today. And thanks to everyone for attending today. Oops, I have to mute because all the microphones just came open. And let me finish off by just saying it was the second International Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Tuesday, January 19th, 2016. And we'll be back for the public workshop, the Knowledge Seekers Workshop on Thursday at 9 a.m. Central European Time. Okay, I think I'm going to close the live stream and we'll end the recording.